What's up everyone? I'm Ivan with Simple Sheets. In this video, I'm going to take you guys through the accounting Excel templates that we have. All these templates are customizable and are great tools for accountants, bookkeepers, or anyone charged to deal with the accounting side of their business. And that's actually the beauty of using these templates. You could also use these templates to train yourself to be able to create templates of your own. All of the accounting templates have tutorial videos, so for a more in-depth explanation of each sheet, you can just click on the template and press play on the video. In the accounting pack, we have accounts receivable, accounts payable, expense report, invoice 1, and invoice 2. The accounts receivable template provides sheets that enable you to instantly input the particulars of your invoices, such as the date, the all-important invoice number, the even more important customer, the term, any notes you might have, and most importantly, the amount due. Based on your terms, it automatically computes the due date for you. If you leave it blank though, it defaults to whatever you put in the list sheet right here. This template also gives you a sheet to record the payment of your customers. Just input the invoice number here and it gives you the details automatically. Input the amount paid and the date, and you'll get the balance right away. The Open Invoices tab gives you an interactive dashboard where you can see all the invoices that you're awaiting payment for. You get a chart that you can filter out using these slicers and a refresh macro button to update it. Moving on to the opposite end of the accounting spectrum, we have the accounts payable template. Coincidentally enough, the accounts payable template is very similar to the accounts receivable template. You have a sheet wherein you can enter your invoices that you owe money for. So those are the ones with similar details, but this time the due date is no longer automated and the amount due is the amount that you owe. We have a sheet wherein we can keep track of the payments made, as well as a sheet to view our scheduled payments. And lastly, we have a dashboard sheet where we can see all our different invoices and their statuses. Next up, we have the expense report Excel template. This is a really great tool to have to keep your internal expenses well organized and allow you to have a means to track and analyze your employee spending. So gone are the days of having to remember everything or having to list everything down. As standard, we have a data sheet wherein you input all the items that you would later want to appear in the drop-down lists for your ease of use. In the first sheet, input your employee data. That's just the name and the ID number. Moving over to the actual expense report sheet, input the name of your employee or your name if you're the one tracking your own expenses. You can do that by using the drop-down list, and it should give you the employee's details automatically. Then you log your expenses here, so log the date, add a description of what you spent on, then input the particulars, and just remember that the totals have formulas, so make sure to not overwrite them. In the consolidation sheet, it gets all the entries that you enter, so you can view them all at the same time. In the consolidation pivot, there is a pivot table and slicers that you could use to filter by category. Last, but definitely not the least in our accounting templates lineup, are the invoice templates, aptly named Invoice 1 and Invoice 2. Invoice 1 gives you 3 data sheets. First, you input your company's data like name, address, phone, and email. You could also input here the tax details, payment details, and the possible discounts that you might have. In the next sheet, you input your product portfolio. So those are basically your products and their prices, excluding VAT. In the customer data sheet, simply input your, you guessed it, customer data. So when you move over to the invoice sheet, it should give you automatically the date and the company details that you inputted in the sheets prior. All you have to do is input your customer name using the drop-down list, and all the details should show up. After that, it's just a matter of putting in the quantity of the item, the product itself, and it automatically shows you the price per unit and the total price. Below, you have the subtotal, VAT, discount, and grand total. Below that, we have the all-important payment details shown automatically as well, but you will have to be the one to plug in the payment terms. Invoice number 2 is similar to invoice number 1, but I'd say it's a bit more refined. You get a sheet for your company info, products and services, and the invoice sheet, which gets a bit of an aesthetic upgrade from the last one. That wraps up our overview of the accounting templates of Simple Sheets. This template category is just one among 12 categories, and the templates I mentioned are just 5 of over 100 pre-built smart templates. And the library is just gonna keep on growing and growing. Again, this is Ivan with Simple Sheets, and I'll see you guys on the next one.